All right. It's always like when I'm about to start. All right. So Battlefront 2's update just came out, and I didn't get my hopes up, and I'm kind of disappointed in it just because I haven't played it yet, but I saw the footage, and I can already tell from it just because I've already put in hours upon hours in this game that it's kind of disappointing to look at because, um, and I hate constantly being a Debbie Downer about Battlefront 2 because I want the game to be good, but like it's very cinematic and it's very scripted. The gameplay is, at least, which is why it's not fun. It's not immersive like the originals. Now we keep coming back to the originals, and people are like, "Oh yeah, you're living in the past," but no, it's not that. It's not that. The original game was immersive. You had an open battlefield where you capture command points, and you can run up to any vehicle and fly into any ship, and or at least the capital ships, and have that immersion to do whatever you want on the battlefield and not giving you any limitations. You can play as droidicas, you can play as spider droids, you can play as hellfire droids, you can jump inside any vehicle virtually any vehicle that you see. And in this game, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that at all. It's all power ups. It's all and they're spending way too much time developing star cards and this in depth progression system with star cards that is just completely unnecessary and completely like out of left field, that they're just not focusing on the game as much, and it's really disappointing because it's too cinematic. And gaming, I mean, there's a lot of videos that talk about this, that the games are way too cinematic. And if you compared, like, let's say the new Call of Duty World War II compared to like the old Call of Duty games that were in World War II, people will tell you that the old ones are more fun because this one has, once again, it's way too cinematic, it's way too scripted, it's not giving you as much freedom as the player would like to. And that's what this game is. It's very pretty, it's a very good looking game, it looks amazing, but the gameplay is just so like there's a reason why a ton of people don't play it anymore. Unless you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna play it, but like it's just, the gameplay honestly is not that great. I think there, for an open battlefield, I think your bullets have way too much spread. It takes too long to kill people. There aren't any, and if the game played anything like Battlefield 4 or even 3, like it would be fun. Like those games have that element of running up to a vehicle or a tank, like a tank or a helicopter, jumping inside, having your friends jump inside and go have fun, you know. And it's just this not giant toy box of or I guess sandbox where you can do whatever you want. And I think they did this for this game for the sheer sake of being different, and trying to prevent people from commenting saying this is just a Battlefield clone, because why try to fix something if it's not entirely broken? And Battlefront 2 didn't need all this add-ons and basic content. Like, it's been way too long to have virtually nothing in this game. Like, so many of the Jedis are missing from the original. So many of, and mind you, they had all this content at launch. You had maps like Utapau, Mustafar, different parts of Endor. I mean, like, there's a lot more missing. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. But like, all there was, and he had all those Jedi's like Ki-Adi-Mundi, Aayla Secura, Jango Fett. Even though he's kind of a reskin of Boba Fett, but like, it's still cool to have all this content just there for you to play. But it's not. It's really not, and it's just kind of boring. I mean, even then, it took them this long to make 2 additional classes. And like, why? Like, that's it. We're getting one more map, 2 classes, and it's been like 2 years since the game launch. And that's it. What, 2 years? Has it been 2 years? I think it's been 2 years now. And yeah, and the game hasn't really had any content, really. Like, it's just, it doesn't have that much content. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I hate ranting about this stuff, but it's just how I feel. I think that's how a lot of people feel. No matter what they do to this game, I'm just gonna keep being disappointed. They just gotta stop developing this game and just move on to other projects. And hopefully, maybe Lucasfilm Games will pick it up eventually, sometime in the future, because I don't want Like, I don't care if the graphics are amazing, as long as if the gameplay sucks, it's not going to be a good game. Like, even if it was anything like Battlefront 3, like the canceled one from Free Radical, like, it would have been a great game because they still kept all of Pandemic's Battlefront 2 elements, all of them, and they expanded on it, you know. And to raise the bar so high and then just lower it, you know, obviously you're not going to be happy with that product, right? So they kind of lowered that bar and gave you a mediocre game. And EA is well known for making games, they just mess up on games. I mean, Anthem and Mass Effect and Dragon Age have all been kind of examples of that, at least the recent ones. So, and I have high hopes for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order because Respawn Entertainment makes pretty good games. I mean, the only ones I can think of off the top of my head are Titanfall 1 and 2 and Apex Legends, but Titanfall 1 was alright. I mean, it was only multiplayer, so it didn't really catch my attention too much, but Titanfall 2's campaign was really good despite it being short. It was a great campaign. The multiplayer was solid. It was a lot of fun. The Titans were all fun too. But and but in Apex Legends is actually pretty fun despite the battle pass being a little mediocre. I don't really care. The game still holds up for me and it's still pretty fun. So Respawn's doing something right. So I have hope for the Star Wars game. But once again, Battlefront 2, just let it die at this point. It's been years since I've been wanting a Battlefront game, and Battlefront 3 was the biggest tease in the world, and we didn't get that, and it's just been one canceled Star Wars game after another. So yeah, that's all I had to say about that, and thanks for watching.